Welcome to this edition of News in Depth. I am Ramesh Jairam with the details. We begin tonight's newscast by telling you that teen charged with double murder of Bushlot brothers.
The Maibikuri Blackbush Polder Magistrates Court was filled with relatives of 18-year-old Kiran Jinarine, called Romy of Bushlot Farm Quarantine, who was charged with 2 counts of murder for the Samaru brothers when he appeared on Tuesday before Magistrate Alex Moore. Jinarine allegedly confessed to police that he was the mastermind behind the crime which led to the Old Year's Night killing of Harry Charan and Prem Charan Samaru. Despite his alleged confession, his attorney, Charlie Nartiga, has requested surveillance video which places him at a nearby supermarket when the crime took place. Investigators believe he was indeed imbibing at the shop, but it was before the crime was carried out. The suspect's family told this newscast that Jinarine was beaten by police and forced to confess and sign the statement.
So far, the police didn't do a proper investigation because the man was at the supermarket at the time the thing occurred, and they failed to present that in court today because you cannot hold nobody innocently and remand them for 2-3 weeks. Who will compensate them for the loss of time they're incarcerated and damage the character?
Jinarine also reportedly told police his accomplice, 32-year-old Kelvin Shivgobin of Belvedere Village, was the trigger man. Shivgobin remains at large. The teen turned himself into police in the presence of his lawyer last week after a wanted bulletin was issued for him and Shivgobin. It has been reported that Romeo was drinking with one of the brothers at a shop an hour before robbing them. Soon after, the victim returned to his mother's home when the bandits struck and gunned them down before robbing their elderly mother and an overseas relative who was visiting for the holiday. The Samaru brothers were laborers and parents who intended to ring in the new year with their mother, Irene Samaru, and 2 other siblings when the unfortunate incident occurred. The bandits made off with just over US $400 and $75,000 in local currency. The search continues for Shivgobin.
God does not sleep, and neither will I, until justice is served. Mother of murdered city man. More details in this report.
The hurt, the pain, and cries for justice were some of the sentiments expressed at a candlelight vigil on Sunday by relatives and friends of Tevin Paris. Tevin Paris, the young corner kick manager, was shot dead a year ago. The young man was found with a pistol in his hand, and his family said he was not the owner of a gun. At the vigil Sunday night, his mother, Natasha Bernard, said, "It's all in God's hands, and she will continue to fight for justice."
All is not lost. All is not lost. And I am going to fight. I'm going to go down fighting. And I will get justice for my son. Before I had some obstacles or whatever, but knowing the person that I am, we're back on track again. And to the person or persons who would have done this great injustice to me and my family, I want you to know that God doesn't sleep, and neither will I, until justice is served. It's hard. For those in authority, I'm asking you to please continue doing what you're doing. And the ones higher above that has been helping me, please continue to help me. That's all I can say at this moment.
The grieving woman was thankful for all the support the family received during this difficult period.
And before we had some delays. But what I can tell the public is that I thank you all for your prayers and support, my hard time.
His uncle David Paris, who made the discovery, said the family needs answers as to what happened to Tevin a year ago.
Hey, looky there. Let me go techie boots.
Boots? No, mama, I ain't gonna get lack of teeth in them big stinky 30-second boots. Plus, it gonna be more cheaper online. And then got my favorite color, pink. Let me go along.
Online shopping. Cheaper, faster, better. Passback.
Caribbean rice, from the lush rice fields of Guyana, straight to your home. Caribbean rice, our people, our rice.
Under tight security with heavily armed police officers in the compound of the High Court, the first hearing of the no confidence motion got underway this afternoon before Chief Justice Roxton George Wilshire. Chief Justice Wilshire told the battery of lawyers representing both sides that a ruling will be made by the end of the month. Three matters filed before the Chief Justice are Compton Reed versus the Attorney General Basil Williams, expelled Member of Parliament Charandas Prasad, and the Speaker of the National Assembly. There is also the Christopher Ram versus the Attorney General and the Speaker of the National Assembly, in addition to the Attorney General versus the Speaker of the National Assembly and the Opposition Leader Bar Jagdeo. Attorney General Basil Williams said the Chief Justice converted the session to what he called a case management session. He was confident in the case presented by him regarding the no confidence motion. The opposition leader was represented by attorney at law Anya Nandalal, and he too said he was prepared and ready to make his arguments. Submissions will be held by January 18th and rebuttals slated for January 21st. Oral arguments are set for January 24th on all the matters.
The body of a Surinamese businessman washed ashore the number 63 beach quarantine Monday afternoon with a bullet wound to his head. The discovery was made by police ranks who were on regular patrol around the area. He has been identified as Nitinder Omar Singh. The rice dealer was recently fingered in a major drug bust in Suriname, where over 2,300 kilos of cocaine was seized by authorities there. It is believed his death is related to that bust. It has been reported that the man may have been taken to the beach and executed, since a spent shell was also found at the scene. A mobile phone and close to US $400 was also found on the victim, which rules out robbery as the motive. The body is now at the Skeldon Hospital mortuary awaiting a post-mortem examination. Police investigations are ongoing. Melissa Khan for News in Depth.
A man's beer.
To end tonight's newscast, we'll remind us all that kindness goes beyond the grave. Here is more in this report.
It has been almost a year since Inspector Ian Welch of Rosehalton tragically lost his life in a vehicular accident while on duty in the interior. Fortunately, his simple acts of kindness is what most people remember about him. During the festive season, the officer of Number 2 Subdivision, Mr. Prasad, shared hampers to several families in need. It was during the stop at the home of a sickly man who resides at Wim Village that everyone was reminded of the power of kindness.
Yeah, that's always there. That this thing is not done half for yourself. That the Holy God, the big one, and make you do this. And right here, like how you come, and then they tell us on this morning when you come and tell me, self me got the whole tell here. You tell them I study Ian, me remember that inspector me get low pressure body, Me walk a come and me buy things from shop and I come easy. And like me feel bad like me go fall along and me like me start and see and stop. With the same car. Me can never forget the car number. Sister drive the car now. When see me he say come. Okay, show what happened to you. Me show her. He take everything to the guy say come to the car. Everybody, the police come and stand up and watch. One big inspector well dressed like you. Come on a walker, come in, stop a car and hold me and come mud bin there in front of me. You hold me and you come here, bring them marmite.
The elderly man who lives alone and suffers from a stroke broke down in tears when he spoke of the kindness Inspector Welch demonstrated to him over the years. He is hoping that this will inspire others to spread love and carry out more acts of compassion, regardless of how small.
Me God of myself, big, great. That man, if it wasn't he, I wouldn't be here today. This you have to look. Who you think said that? Who you think go in your mind? Or who you think go in all the officer mind if you do this? That's always there.
Each year at Christmas, Inspector Welch would hand out hampers to families in need and share encouraging words to them. These simple acts of kindness will forever warm this man's heart and has left a lasting impression on his life. There is a famous quote, "Kindness is the language which the deaf can hear and the blind can see." Even in death, people will remember how you made them feel. How do you want to be remembered?
This brought us to the end of tonight's newscast. Remember to visit our website www.rdproductiongy.com, Facebook or Instagram for details on these and other stories. Join us again tomorrow for another edition of News in Depth. This is Rameshri Jairam. Good night.